The LTS2000 is a physical simulator designed for the acquisition and evaluation of laparoscopic surgical skills. It is the first physical simulator which combines ISM60 interactive sensing technology, which permits electronic scoring and feedback. The ISM60 sensor carousel includes 10 tasks. The carousel is rotated to select the task, placing it in view of the camera, which is in a fixed position, avoiding the need to readjust the camera after each task. The endotrainer box is covered with a simulated skin, which has 8 preset defects in it in which to place trocars. The operator may choose to place the trocars in any of the sites and may vary them according to the task, but the operator must also avoid placing trocars in such a way that they would interfere with each other. The LTS2000 system comes with an accessory pack which includes 100 cutting circles, 3 cannulation rods, although only one is shown here, 5 O-rings or conductive rings, 3 stitch patches, 15 pegs, and 6 cinching tubes. The system also comes complete with an LTS2000 interactive software for PC. The LTS simulator includes 10 tasks scored for speed and precision based on preset cutoff times and maximum penalties. A brief overview of the tasks are presented here, and each will be explained in more detail as we go along. First task is peg insertion. The second and third tasks are ring manipulation with the dominant and non-dominant hands respectively. The fourth and fifth are cannulation as well with dominant and non-dominant hands. Sixth task is formation of a rotor loop outside of the endotrainer box. The seventh task is cinching this loop around a vertical tube. The eighth task involves an extracorporeal knot around the horizontal tube. The ninth task is an intracorporeal knot, the integrity of which is verified by a built-in tensometer. The final task is to cut a circle delineated by a yellow line as shown here. The ISM60 interactive sensing module is connected to the PC or laptop computer, which is equipped with the latest LTS2000 software. The module, also referred to as the brain of the system, allows the user to control start or stop times, as well as to mark errors. In the test setting, the examiner can also control all of these items from the computer. Task 1, peg insertion. This task requires 2 curved forceps. The interactive computer interface is shown here. The operator picks up the peg with the non-dominant hand, transfers it to the dominant hand, and places it in the pegboard. The goal is to place 6 out of the 9 pegs in any of the 9 slots on the pegboard. The system senses each peg as it is placed. The task starts when the first peg is picked up and ends when 6 are entered. Ten penalty points are assigned for each peg dropped, up to a maximum of 60 points. A summary screen will be shown after each task and includes the final score, the penalties, and the time taken. Tasks 2 and 3, ring manipulation. This task is performed with a curved forcep and includes a conducting ring. The fragility of the conducting ring is demonstrated here, and extreme caution must be taken, especially when stretching the ring around the pin. The ring is picked up from the pot and guided over the metal post using twisting motions of the wrist. The goal is to have as little contact as possible with the post. A buzzer will sound each time the ring contacts the post. The task is completed when the ring is stretched over the pin for a total of 3 seconds. 10 penalty points are assigned for each time the ring is dropped, up to a maximum of 30, and 10 penalty points are assigned for each 1 second segment of contact between the ring and the post for a maximum of 60. The cutoff time for this task is 120 seconds. This procedure is repeated with the non-dominant hand on the other side, as is demonstrated here. Tasks 4 and 5. Cannulation with the dominant and non-dominant hands. 2 curved forceps are used for this task. The hand not being tested is used to stabilize and orient the tube while the cannula is threaded through. The trajectory is sensed by the carousel and reflected on the screen, as shown here. The task is considered complete when the cannula is removed. The sequence is repeated with the non-dominant hand. 10 penalty points are assigned each time the cannula is dropped, up to a maximum of 20, and the cutoff time for this task is 100 seconds. Task 6, formation of a rotor or lasso loop. This task requires a 90 centimeter or 36-inch length of O silk, and it is performed on the post outside of the endo-trainer box. The loop is made by first throwing a flat half hitch and then wrapping the upper end of the stitch around the hitch while holding the knot in place. A loop is then created, and the free end is passed through the loop. The task is completed with successful formation of a slipping loop. The cutoff time for this task is 120 seconds, and a score of 0 is assigned if the loop is not formed or if it is formed improperly. Task 7 involves cinching of this pre-made endo loop over a vertical tube which is equipped with a pressure sensor. If the examinee was not able to form an appropriate rotor loop in Task 6, the loop is formed by the examiner and it is provided to the examinee for the completion of Task 7. Task 7 requires 2 forceps and 1 knot pusher. The rotor loop is carefully introduced into the box, taking care not to unravel it. It is guided around the tube using a forcep, and then the free end is threaded through a knot pusher which is used to cinch down the loop within the pre-marked area. The task is considered complete when the desired tension is maintained in the tube for a total of 3 seconds. A penalty score of 50 points is assigned for cinching the loop outside of the pre-marked area. A score of 0 is assigned if the tension is not maintained for 3 seconds. The cutoff time for this task is 180 seconds. Task 8, extracorporeal knot around a horizontal tube. 2 forceps, a knot pusher, and a 90 centimeter or 36-inch length of O silk are required for this task. The silk tie is placed around the tube using a forcep and then brought out from the same trocar into which it was introduced. And the first throw of a slip knot or granny knot is tied. A free end is threaded through the knot pusher and the knot is placed down within the pre-marked area on the tube. The knot pusher is removed and a second throw in the same direction, creating a slip knot, is placed and the knot is cinched down again within the pre-marked area. Once 2 hitches are thrown, the suture is cut. The task is considered complete if the tension within the tube is maintained for a total of 3 seconds. 50 points are assigned to a knot placed outside of the target area, and a score of 0 is assigned if the 3 seconds of tension are not maintained or if the knot slips. Task 9, intracorporeal knot with verification of knot integrity using tensometer. 2 needle holders and a 15 centimeter or 6-inch length of O-silk suture is required for this task, either with a ski or curved needle. The examinee picks up the needle from the magnetic pod and orients it in order to take a full thickness purchase in the nylon patch. A similar purchase is taken on the patch on the other side within the pre-marked area. Two half hitches of a square knot in opposite directions are formed in order to lock the stitch. In order to activate the tensometer, either the examinee or the examiner must activate the Task Done button. Once this is done, the tensometer will be activated and will exert a disruptive force of approximately 2.5 pounds or 1 kilogram on the knot. 50 penalty points are assigned for a suture placed outside of the pre-marked area. A cutoff time of 480 seconds is assigned for this task. A score of 0 is assigned if the knot slips or fails the tensometer test, as shown here. Task 10, the final task, involves precise cutting of a circular pattern delineated by the yellow line. Instruments include 1 forceps and 5 mm laparoscopic scissors. The paper disc has 2 tabs in the center which must be lifted. It also has 3 perforations which fit into the pins on the pod. The tabs must cover the inside area in the pod in order for the completion of the task to be sensed. The operator must cut through the yellow line and cut the circle as accurately as possible. The operator can choose to use instruments in either hand and can switch instruments as they see fit. Once the circle is cut, it is grasped with 2 forceps and lifted gently from the pod. Once it is removed from the pod, the task will be sensed as completed. Scoring of the circle task is done by counting all of the areas of blue around the inner circle and all the areas of pink in the outer ring. Each color mark is assigned 5 points, up to a total of 100 points. The cutoff time for this task is 300 seconds. The complete score for all 10 tasks is tallied, and a report can be printed and signed by both the tester and the examinee. Alternatively, the session can be saved under the user and used to track performance if this is done in the practice environment.